Good evening. My name is Jeff Prendergast, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a passion of mine and a hobby, coffee, but specifically I'm going to be talking about espresso. I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to make a perfect espresso shot and how to make espresso drinks. Most people start off their day by drinking coffee, and a lot of people start off the day by going to Starbucks or a different store that makes coffee like that. Well, I decided that's way too much money to go to Starbucks every day, so I decided to start making it on my own. And I discovered not only can I make it for a fraction of the price that Starbucks charges, I can also make it significantly better than anything Starbucks produces. So I'm going to go over how you can do this too at home. The first thing you need is some basic equipment. The most basic equipment you need is obviously an espresso machine. You also need a grinder, which is important. We'll go over why later. You need high quality coffee. I can't make bad coffee taste good in my espresso machine, but I can make average coffee or good coffee taste exceptional. You also need a steam pitcher to make steamed or frothed milk to make your espressos or to make your cappuccinos and lattes and other espresso milk based drinks. And lastly, you need a receptacle for your espresso and your final drink that you'll be making, so you'll need different mugs. The basic equipment you see in this picture in front of you, we have number one, we have the espresso machine. I have a pretty decent machine that I splurged on one day, but the price was totally worth it for the amount of coffee that I drink. I saved more money by making it at home. Some of the equipment that you see here is one alpha down below. That is the tamp. It is a metal disc that's smooth that we'll use to tamp down the coffee grinds in the basket, which is a 1C just above it. That is the filter that we're going to use to put the coffee in. We'll go over those steps later. For frothing milk, we have a pitcher, which is 1B. It's a stainless steel mug, and we use that by sticking it in the steam wand, which you see on the right, which is 1D. And we have the grinder, number 2, which is a burr grinder, which we'll use for consistency. And we have 3 and 3 alpha, which are mugs. We have 3 is just a normal mug, and 3 alpha is a dimetast mug, which just means small mug, which is the perfect size for catching one single shot each. So the first thing you're going to do is turn on your machine. There are 3 basic types of espresso machines. There's a fully automatic, manual, and a semi-automatic. We're going to be talking today about the semi-automatic. When you turn on a semi-automatic machine, it's going to ask you to input a few variables. The first thing you have to input is the temperature in which you want your shot to extract at. I usually go for the standard 200 degrees Fahrenheit. You're also going to have to put in the time in seconds that you want the pressure to go through your shot. The standard is 30 seconds. That's what most people go for. So the next thing you need to do is you need to grind your beans. It is important to have fresh ground beans for the espresso because you want to maximize the freshness and flavor. If you use old or pre-ground coffee beans, you're going to get a stale taste. It's not going to be as desirable. So we need to make sure your espresso grinder is a burr grinder, it has conical burrs on it. This is different from your normal grinder, which just has a blade that spins around. All that does is pulverize it, and you're not going to get a consistent grind that is crucial for proper espresso. So consistency is important, so it's important to get a better grinder than you actually have an espresso machine. So the next thing you do after you ground your coffee is you need to portion out a distinct amount for every time you do a shot of espresso. It's important to be consistent in the amount you have to have a consistent shot each time. So you need to eliminate as many variables as you can. So I like to start people out with 18 grams and adjust from there. You need to add more for a better shot or less. You just need to make sure you monitor how many grams you put in your filter basket. So after you put in your 18 grams into your portafilter, you have to use your tamp to smooth it out. This is approximately what 18 grams is going to look like in your filter. So it should be like a dome, but we need to flatten that out and smooth it. So for that, we're going to use our tamp. We're going to apply 25 pounds of pressure approximately with your hand. So I put it on the counter. I typically put the palm of my hand on the top, and I push it down to what I feel is about a 25-pound weight, what I imagine a 25-pound weight would feel. And then I spin it around a little bit to give it a nice smooth finish, and it should look about this. It should be about 2 or 3 millimeters from the lip, and you want to wipe that lip off the top so you have a smooth and tight connection with the metal ring to the group head on the top of the espresso machine, because it's going to go in there. Then after you lock it in, you're going to hit the button to start the extraction, and you're going to want to monitor it. You're going to want to look at the espresso as it flows down the two spouts, as you can see in this picture. You want it to have a golden brown color. It's called the crema. This is what you're looking for. You don't want it to come out straight black like regular drip coffee. You want it to look kind of different, and you want to notice the texture too. Make sure it's kind of a fluffy, bubbly, liquid texture. So finally, now that we know how to make our espresso, we need to learn how to froth milk in order to make our drinks, such as a cappuccino or latte. So before you actually brew your espresso, you want to steam your milk first, because you want to steam it, and then you kind of want to let it set for a little bit. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your steam pot and you're going to put in about 1.5 to 2 inches of cold milk. You can use 2% skim milk or whole, it doesn't matter. I typically use whole just because I like the way it tastes. So once you get the milk in there, you're going to activate the steam wand. Then you're going to put the pitcher of milk with the steam wand in it. You're going to heat it up. If you have a thermometer, you can watch it. You're going to want to cut it off at about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer, I don't. I just find it easier to just put my hand on the steam pot, and the stainless steel will heat up to about 160 degrees, which is about as much as the human hand can handle until you start to burn, and that's when you know that it's heated up enough. But while you're heating it up, you're going to want to achieve bubbles, which is what frothing is. So this technique here is putting the steam wand on the side. As you can see, the top is on the side of the mug. We're creating a kind of a wave that goes circles from the top to the bottom. This is how you make micro foam, and it's how you make the small foam. To make larger foam, larger bubbles, which is what you want more towards a cappuccino, you're going to want to bob the steamed milk, the surface of it, up and down at the end of your steam wand. So this effect will make a gurgling sound, which a lot of people are accustomed to hearing when you go inside of a coffee store. This is going to make larger bubbles, or you can do a combination of the both, and you'll get a nice foamy, frothy milk. So these are all the steps to make perfect espresso and make great froth milk. You add all these together and find the combinations of espresso to milk ratio. You can make any espresso based milk drink there is, and you'll save a lot of money and a lot of time by doing it at home, and it'll be 10 times better than anything you can get at Starbucks. Thank you.